Right. This is kind of a part two, but I am just quickly going to comment on another thing that dentist did. Was he'd asked me like about giving up smoking, and he'd said like, "Have you considered giving up smoking?" And I just said no. I was thinking, no, look, don't fucking look. You're here to look in my mouth. Saying, would you please? He still hadn't looked in my mouth at that point. I'd been in there 5 minutes. And this was someone who was supposed to just get on and just look at what's there and what he can do. That's what he was apparently told he was going to do. And I just went, no. And there's this long silence. And then he got really like, you know, when someone thinks they're being nice to you and calming you down, but then they've also got to state their point. And this is where my fucking empathy kicks in. Because I think, I know you don't fucking mean that, you dick. Don't fucking lie to me as you're doing it. Because he was like, that was only a question. You could have given it an answer or something like that. And it just made him sound like a total bitch in my eyes. He was having a fucking passive aggressive moment whilst trying to remain all calm and polite. And I could feel that shit. And I just, you know, I just went, I said no. I'd fucking answered him. Fucking dickhead. Anyway, but I just thought, you've just been told I've got emotionally unstable personality disorder. When he did look in my mouth and he was saying all that shit, I did start to tear up, and he did go, "Are you all right?" At one point. I was like, not really, no. This is what, you know, I knew this was going to happen, but it just doesn't mean I like it. You know what I mean? He wasn't a total asshole, but, you know, I didn't like the way he was really trying to just fucking grab at 20,000 quid's worth of work. That's where his focus was. That's where his focus was. And as soon as he said, no, they've got to go, he was straight away, you can get another opinion if you want, and defended it. I just didn't like that. Mercenary, mate. Mercenary. He said privately. That was the first thing he said. Well, we can do that privately. I said, I'm an NHS patient. That's why I was referred here, because you took NHS. The good news is I can get it done, sort of a cursory patch up thing, and wear the denture, and it's 269 quid, and they'll be cleaned, and all the millions of titchy fillings will be done. So I'll just do that for now. I think hopefully you can get implants done. Well, if he's pulling them out to do an implant, then I'll just hopefully, yeah, the implant just goes in whenever, and the other ones will just. This dude had just had them all fucking filed down, and the whole fucking set of individual ones like cemented on there or whatever. So I'm gonna go for it, and if it costs that much to have it utterly perfect, as if I've been brushing my teeth all my life, then fine. Anyway, Dr. Fixity, that was another palaver, hullabaloo. Turn up at 8:45. Yet again, Mikey disagrees with the fucking consultant, and Mikey was right. Done it loads. Disagreed with the consultant radiographer. I was right. There was a fracture. He said there wasn't. I said there fucking is. And it was proved a week later, and it was still fucking there a week later. And they were justifying it. I said, I don't care what you're telling me. He was a consultant radiologist. And you're lucky there's been no consequences, because I would be having him over this, because I heard him go in a guffawing voice, that's not fractured. It fucking was. And then two other doctors agreed with me. A week later, it's still fucking there. Anyway, I didn't, because I'm not that sort of person, but it was like, that could have been a bad misdiagnosis. That was a fractured calcaneum. They told me to weight bear on it. That was the plan, because it had been diagnosed as a fucking sprain. And it fucking wasn't. So I didn't load bear on it. I looked after it my fucking self. And I thought, you're fucking lucky. Because if I'd have been weight bearing on it, it could have gone really fucking bad. And yeah, then when they re-looked at the x-ray and another, anyway, blah, blah. But I'm not a dickhead. So I wasn't thinking about lawsuits. So I didn't do anything. I just thought, fuck you, you were wrong. There was one who said I didn't have a leg infection. I said I did, and I did. There was another one who said that I wouldn't be able to weight bear, and I said, no, I can. And I did. And then this one said, my claim is that my foot, they've said that it's tilted, but my claim is that it's also done this. Only a couple of degrees. Fuck me, it makes a difference. And I can feel it and see it and just know it. And I think, hang on, why is that out of line? I'm doing a lot of alignment work and using a lot of mirrors. And thinking, why is my fucking pelvis all the way over there? Why am I side flexing? There's a lot of neurological miscommunication going on. There's a lot of, Anyway, so I saw this this orthopedic consultant who said this is all muscular, and I said I know, but that's why I'm confused that I'm here, because I was told that Mr. Fixity wanted to see me personally. He said, oh no, you know, you can wait for him if you want. If you want a second opinion or something, you can wait for him, but that would be your choice. He'll be in at about 10. And it was 8:45. I was like, well, yeah, all right, I'll wait. But then he said again, it hasn't deviated. And I just said, I don't agree. I don't agree. I know if I just stand with my feet in line and I just pump my knees backwards and forwards, this heel drags round. It's not aligned. It's not aligned. So all of my insertions aren't aligned up to where my origins think they are. And it's causing all kinds of fucking bullshit. It's biokinetic, but it is causing a neurological deficit as well. It's causing all sorts of shit. My other foot's going numb. I'm getting cramps in it. I'm getting like fatigues in it. Weird shit going on. The muscles are overworking in weird ways. And I need good physio, and I need someone else to do it because I can't do it to myself. The things I need to do. So I've had to wait for 3 weeks and not have that because of that appointment. That he said it didn't need to see Mr. Fixity anyway. But when I said I don't agree, he had another look. And he lined my feet up and said, no, they're fine. I went, right, now look at that knee. And I just went, boop, 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 from my right knee. And then I went, boop, boop, boop. Knee is just rotated inwards. And then he started to look at it and went, oh, yeah. And then he stand to this side, stand to that side. And it does, it flicks out. It ain't lined up with the rest of my tibia. So the tibia's straight, but then there's a little tilt and a kink. It's twisted. What's happened? It's twisted. That ain't good. So now he's talking about surgery with quite an earnest. He was sort of saying, I don't think surgery is the answer. Now he is. So it's another 6 weeks off my feet. It's not stopping, is it? It's fucking not. But you know, the alternative is I can't walk more than 50 odd meters. I can walk totally normally. I could get up and walk across the room and think there's fuck all wrong with you. I'd be one of them. Look, this man claims benefits and he can walk. Those bandwagonist cunts. It's like, yeah, some people have this kind of problem, mate. A lot of people have this kind of problem. You can see me dancing at the weekend. You'll also see me resting a fucking lot. And I'm quite often dancing in fucking pain. I'm just thinking, well, just tolerate it. But it's, you know, it gets to a point where I have to stop. Like, and walking brings the pain on a lot more than dancing. Because if I'm dancing, I'm relatively still and I'm just sort of swaying and bending my knees and stuff. So my ankle is mobilising as my leg moves backwards and forwards. But it's when it's loaded up and lifting repeatedly, and when I'm going up hills, that's when it really fucking just kills. So my plan is, though, it's like, well, yeah, I did have, you know, a proper look, and he went through the whole range of motion of all the joints in my foot and had a real look at it. And I'm going back for a CT scan. I've got 4 weeks until I'll be called back for that, because apparently that's how long it takes to order up and all that. So he's doing both legs and doing a comparison, and then going to look for the simplest surgical option. But then hopefully in the meantime I'm referred for physio as well, so I can crack on with that and crack back on with my own mobilisations of my joints, which I've not really been doing. I do them now and then, but I tend to do them by lunging and doing stuff at the gym, which I'm going to do. But I'm going to also tie in with some of the Reiki shit that I said I'd ramp up this week. So I'm going to spend a good couple of hours doing that. It's just my literal plan is to get to the gym by this evening. I might drive to the gym and then walk across to the hospital. It's a bit naughty, and get my x-rays done. But I kind of want to cycle there. Don't know. I might. Yeah, no. I think I might just take it. But I'm going to think, no, it's still only sort of mid-morning. I can study. I can do some stuff. I can just be peaceful and meditate. I think, you know, there's been a lot of peopling that that has been very fucking stressful for me. Going to the hospital last night to visit a friend who's in physically much worse shape than I am. And you spent some time with him, but just getting there and just having to, where the fuck is the place? Fucking now I'm going for a piss. Now that toilet's fucking blocked. And just, I'm raging over fuck allity things. And I can't stop it happening. And that's why I can't have anyone around me, because people will just start rationalizing and, oh, come on, he didn't mean it like that, and just retune. And it's like, it's so often it's stuff that I know, and the fact that I know it is part of what's making me so fucking upset, and that's what gets dug at by people. But then that's when I go, I know. But they're talking to me as if I'm someone who doesn't know that you're supposed to remain calm when you speak to people and things like that. It's like really right back to basic shit because of what they've just seen happen. And that's why I've had to stop having people around me a lot, because that happens and I can see why. And yet again, they'll just say that they were trying to help. And it doesn't help. That's the only thing. Whether they're trying to help or not, it doesn't help. So what are you supposed to do with that? You know, upset your friends because you have done, because they were only trying to help, and just allow it to get worse? Just allow it to get made worse? It's infuriating. It's saddening, actually. It's saddening. But it is what it is. You know, again, it's like, so often this would be, no, you've got a bad attitude towards it. You say it always happens, and oh, look, it's happening. It's like, no. Oh my God, I can just be in just normal mode. Just normal mode. Just listening to tunes and driving and whatever, and it just fucking happens. And no one wants to accept that as a truth. That's one of the problems with having, let's just call them anger issues, because those can be caused by a lot of different reasons. And they can be controllable to an extent, to a varying degree, according to the individual and the situational factors, environmental influences, all that sort of shit. But it's when I flare up that high, it's just that the aftermath. That's the bit. The aftermath is illness, fear, reluctance to get into any extended conversation because it could start to go bad. And then as soon as I seem to have the slightest bit of disagreement, I seem to really aggravate the other person, and they seem to really step their game up in criticalness to me. And then that I probably am misreading, but I'm probably sensing an element of truth, because everyone's got an ego and everyone's got a subconscious. But that's the bit that then gets magnified, and that's it. It just happens. It just happens. That's why I can't be in a relationship. They're too emotionally intense, and I become horrible. And yeah, I don't like who I become. I get way too fucking. That's why I can't handle it. So yeah, it is saddening. And I'm doing the best I can, and I'm meeting my appointments, and all I'm getting is bad fucking news. But there you go, more bad leg news, I'm afraid. But I'm going to do what I can, and I shall report back for duty after I have done my magicalness later.